Alrighty, friends, welcome back here to Enter the Storm. We're going into round 2 with Ty versus Cloud9, and I'm Solid, joined by the glorious forecourt jester.
Glorious. Now, why do people always go like British when they say my name?
Well, jester. I think of jesters as like peasants to the king or the queen.
And they're British?
Well, when I think of kings and queens, I think of Great Britain. I do.
Okay.
There's never been a king in America.
Well, that's absolutely right. They've had a monarch of the queen, but then they separated, so yeah.
See, now you're saying words I don't even understand.
Not American school system, yeah. With Cloud9 coming into this, it's been a heck of a long time for me, but still one of the top talent here in the world. They performed in China. They took the world championship back at BlizzCon and lost to Bob Ross fan club, now Team Naventic for Heroes Rising. That's about as far as my knowledge goes, since I just don't think I've actually gotten to sit down and watch them since.
Yeah, sorry, I had to do Skype stuff again. Yeah. They've definitely been kind of on the DL. They've been hiding them secret strats. They went to China. They did a lot in China, and then they came back and they played in the first qualifier and immediately qualified. And then Cloud9 went back into hiding. So what these guys have been up to? Are we going to see them playing Illidan? Are we going to see them playing Cho'Gall? Are we going to see them playing other weird picks? Dunk Train is a player that's always been very vocal that he likes the non-heal bot support. So are we going to see them busting out Brightwing? Brightwing's starting to gain a lot of popularity. There's a lot of different styles that we could definitely see at the disposal of Cloud9, and I really have no idea what to expect, but we got that draft link coming through. Nice, Aruni.
Always positive, yeah.
It's going to set this bad boy up.
So how do you think that Arthalon has integrated into Cloud9?
It's hard to say based on only seeing a couple events where they truly played. I was really disappointed in their performance in China. I don't think they necessarily performed as well as most people had hoped, and a lot of that's due to their lack of being able to practice. They flew, had to play within the day they landed, and couldn't practice. So they have plenty of excuses for sure, and I can't blame them because that's rough. Flying across the country and having to play within 24 hours is actually miserable. So, but I don't have a strong opinion on Arthalon quite yet because I haven't seen enough of them in action.
Well, I guess it's up to them to start kind of impress us with this trade then. Now, Tempo Storm, because Dread's not with them anymore. Arthalon moved on. They had some big roster swaps. They've kind of been an up and down team, but a lot of people now kind of look to Cloud9 to kind of be that number one NA slot. And I gotta say, they started off the year against Bob Ross fan club, and I don't really know who's the better team anymore.
I think it's Bob Ross by a sizable amount right now, personally, or Naventic as they are now known. I think that is the new team name. It's going to take me a little while to get used to that. A new organization, a brand new organization in the esports industry that Bob Ross fan club is now part of. So it's very exciting. It's definitely a big deal. But they are very, very, very strong on many fronts. Their flexibility in the draft, I think they are the number one team in North America, if I had to put my money in anyone.
Well, I guess that's what they're going to try to show us next week. For now, though, Cloud9 have to beat Ty Ice-T. That's going to be their first stepping stone to the practice regime of this week.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they can do here. There's a lot of veteran players on this team, but we're in that map pick ban phase. What we have left on the table is Cursed Hollow, Dragonshire, Sky Temple, and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now, if you guys know anything about Cloud9, they love to play on Dragonshire, and Ty Ice-T is well aware of that, banning it out.
I guess I'll just watch it from your screen.
Is it not, the link's not working? I thought I sent it to you.
I don't see one.
My bad.
Not really that much of an issue. Cursed Hollow, Sky Temple, or Tomb. Probably not going to see Tomb. So Cursed or Sky, both very big 3-lane battlegrounds. And it is Cloud9. We could see Asmodan. We could see Abathur. We could be seeing actually rather a lot of different things coming out of them.
Yeah, well, Tomb of the Spider Queen, with that gone, we're down to Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple. Considering this is the pick of Ty Ice-T, wow. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say they don't want to take Cloud9 to Sky Temple, but then I was like, Cloud9's really good on Cursed Hollow as well. This is the eldest map in the pool. And, well, one of them. When it comes to competitive, this is the classic, right?
The classic, man.
The classic. Does Raygod make it through?
Well, it's going to be Li Ming or
I know,
Raygod.
this is exciting.
If you had to guess, I would say that Li Ming is not making it through.
Yeah, I would agree with you, honestly. Yeah, I think Cloud9 would probably feel the same way. They've got less experience playing against Li Ming. She's the new flavor. And if you're not feeling like taking that risk in a best of one where you might not be fully prepared for a style of Li Ming that could really catch you off guard, ban her out.
Cloud9 is taking an exorbitant amount of time. I thought maybe that
a throwaway ban.
Yeah, I thought they were not just going to be able to do it like there was a glitch or something, but throwaway ban means they get one of the two.
So it's a throwaway ban and it's not a throwaway ban. It's a throwaway ban because there's all these priority heroes, but it's not a throwaway ban because Cloud9 despises playing against mobile like soak heroes. They like Abathur, Lost Vikings. They have verbally expressed their frustration with playing against that style of play. Jaina is the absolute best assassin in my opinion right now. Ever since the buff to Frostbolt, the nerf to auto attack damage, she feels better. And if they get Mage Babes, oh man,
the Mage Babes. Oh god, I'm learning so much from you today, Jake.
Do they do it?
What happened to the Siege Sisters, man? Come on, that was so good.
Yeah, the Mage Babes are
Song of Fire and Ice.
Look at their dresses. They're even matching.
Sort of. Really comes down to skins, I guess, after that one. Double Mage, though, is a very frail comp. You have to have some supreme confidence on this one. Cloud9's not getting any more picks for another 4 slots. So, Thai Ice T, you can really expect, I think, Cloud9 to go into some heavy frontline to keep these babes going.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much guaranteed to see something like Thrall or Zagara from Thai Ice T. I personally would really enjoy them to go just straight up Thrall and then grab something like either Johanna or even Muradin. But they're just going to opt for Zagara for that strong laning presence. And then Muradin, so very powerful with the Lightning Shield, just diving in, especially level 16, so hard to kill.
So Thai Ice T can't really get counterbanned here because not only do we have a throwaway ban, well, we say it's a throwaway ban. I don't think they would have went at Abathur anyways, because they have one of everything. They got their heals, they got a tank, they got their damage. Now, Falstad's out. Kael'thas is still amongst the picks here for Thai Ice T, and if Cloud9 doesn't ban it, I'd fully expect Thai Ice T to actually pick that up, unless Cloud9 wants to really show us what's up with Triple Mage.
I don't know about that. So the Illidan ban, this is very good for a variety of reasons. One, Rhaegar Illidan, absolutely ferocious. Two, Muradin's one of the better counters in the game to Illidan. Reverberation, just to reduce his auto attacks, really denies him a lot of his damage and self-sustain as a result. So when Muradin's already on Thai Ace T, they just want to take Illidan out of the equation entirely, and I think that is a very smart call.
Thai Ice T, are they going to ban out the Kayle? Are they even going to see it coming? They want to take out the Thrall or the Tyrande or somebody. It really actually, I mean, Cloud9 hasn't shown anything other than damage. So a warrior or a support ban would probably make the best of your situation. But if they do go for a Thrall, I mean, that will lessen the front line and the engage possibilities here at Cloud9. It's going to be an Uther. All right. Zeratul, perhaps, or a last pick here from Thai Ice T?
Zeratul would be so very good. You put iDream on Zeratul for Cloud9 with these double mages that are whittling you down very low and Zeratul goes in to finish the kill. That would be really good. And they could leave their support pick for last, right? Just grab a priority warrior. Johanna seems like really good to keep those mage babes alive. You put Zeratul in there on Dream and you let Dunk play, whoever he wants. Karazim, he could go Tyrande. There's a million options on the table.
Johanna Asmodan, I think, would be a real big throwback. But no, they're going to counterpick the Zera. They got themselves an ETC as well. Do we have any stuns? Well, it's just the Muradin, really. You could technically maw the ETC for the Mosh if we are even going to get a Mosh. And Cloud9, as you said, leaving that support for last is going to just be absolutely fine. So Thai Ice T, they do still have a Thrall available to them since it wasn't actually on the ban. They don't have a Zera. Who else for melee? Greymane comes to mind, but I mean,
he's pretty uncommon in North America. I think that
Yeah.
will change over time because I do think he's actually a very strong hero. But I think Sonya probably makes a little bit more sense than Thrall right now. They don't necessarily need that hard engage. They already have Maw. It's not that it would be bad, but I think Sonya is just a little bit more sustainable in that front line. And
There's the Kale.
yeah,
Fourth pick Kale.
it's not that uncommon since the nerfs, honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
I just get to see him a heck of a lot more in as priority for my weekly stuff. That's all.
I just want to retract. I said Johanna prior when I said Johanna Zeratul. King Caffeine actually despises playing that hero. He thinks that like Johanna is just not very exciting. Oh my goodness, the Lich King.
The chase potential is absolutely real with this one. If you get a good Maw, you can go into a howling blast and then a Syndragosa, and you're really just not going anywhere.
That's really good. But also, I've been really wanting to see Arthas come back just because of his pairing with Rhaegar. But they're just teasing us. They go Orc Boys, full Orc Boy status. Zog, zog.
The bigger problem with Arthas is he doesn't have any gap closers. So if he gets in too far deep or the body blocks, he just has no way to get out of it. He's a sustainable mofo, that is for sure. But he is very susceptible to body blocks and ganging up on. So what do you think for the last pick here? Tyrande?
I mean,
Medic?
it could be Karazim. It could even be Brightwing, but there's no false stats, so Brightwing's pretty unlikely because they don't really need to counter the soak presence.
Tassadar.
It could. I don't think it'll be Malf. Malf's not really great on this map. They
No,
don't.
with his comp. No.
They kind of need cleanse too, so Malf's usually not picked in situations where you need cleanse. I like Karazim.
You take cleanse on Karazim over Breath of Heaven?
More before I would take it on Malfurion, that's for sure.
Okay, fair enough. Well, it looks like you might actually be right on the money here, Jake. Karazim is shadow picked and now locked in and confirmed. So, Divine Palm? Is this what Dunk is going to be going for us? We do not have double tank, but they do have the double Murden Thrall for the front. Wouldn't really see Seven-Sided Strike getting huge amounts of value out of that back line, especially if they group up.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely could see both heroics. I'd say that Seven-Sided Strikes is more common in North America as a whole, but Cloud9, I mean, Dunk Train arguably the best support in all of North America. Palm definitely has a higher skill cap to really getting the full effectiveness out of it. And I actually do think we'll see Palm in this matchup. I just think it's probably the better option. And when you think of like potential teleport style on Li Ming, which is not out of the equation by any means, it's scary if she can go that ham, and having Palm for that additional like backup plan can really really be scary.
All right, so Jake, for a moment there, I thought you were going to be playing here for Thai Ice Tea.
Nope, they've successfully made me an observer. But look, now they've swapped the pumpkins. They go from being Master Thrall to 5 pumpkins. These guys are they're on top of it.
They have a lot of different icons available to them as a team. So they must play a lot of the same heroes in rotation. If they all have Master Skin Thrall, I can just see them kind of sitting down for like a 48-hour marathon where somebody gets to 10 on Thrall and then somebody else gets to 10 on Thrall. It's good team building exercise. Also, if you can stand somebody for 48 hours, you're probably in good stead for a team.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we are more or less set up here for this game, giving the players the GLHF. And here we roll into this best-of-1 matchup between Cloud9 and Thai Ice Tea. You can see the drafts there, both looking very handsome. Li Ming debuting on Arthalon. I have never seen Arth, K1, any of these prominent assassin players on this hero firsthand. And I'm pumped, dude. I am pumped.
But it's not K1. K1's on the Jaina. And
But
you said Jaina, probably the best assassin, and K1 is really the guy that kind of brought him to North America.
It's true. The flank master himself. But imagine
Watch your flanks.
the flank combo. The two of them together, that'd be crazy.
I remember interviewing these guys for the B-roll for BlizzCon because I was out there for ESL to help out with that. And trying to get answers out of the team was like pulling teeth. But K1 Pro, he stepped up and just like, so what do you have to say to your opponents? Like, he just literally looked into the camera and said, watch your flanks. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's fantastic.
All right, well, we'll see if they can watch their flanks as Dusk'n'Fly has disconnected. Here on the left side, we do indeed have Cloud9 Aruni. Jester, can you kindly introduce them as I fix the overlay?
Oh, well, if you want to give me your favorite team, I will not say no. K1 Pro on the Cloud9 mount for Arjana, probably the best in NA, as we said. Dunk Train, very high up there for the support. He's going to be just meditating his way through this gold coin on Karazim. King Caffeine's going to be our ETC, one of the most stalwart warriors you'll probably ever meet. Arthalon is showing us the power of that Li Ming, and it will be iDream on our Zeratul.
Alrighty, and their opponent's Tyst, who just advanced over Juan Cena with Roach and Murden March playing as Kale Faust. We've got Pale Guy High playing Rhaegar, Ivy Slime on the Thrall, and Ducks Can Fly. That is the weirdest looking duck I've ever seen.
Quack, quack, hammer. Quack, quack, hammer. All right, so the 5-man into the mid looking for a kill, but fortunately I'm just not entirely too sure they have the positioning. How did that orb get all the way through? I don't know. What you're going to be seeing here from Arthalon is at least the beginnings of a magic missile build. So he does have the spell block ready to go there. We'll have to see how many more he goes into it. Of course, we do not have a Nest of Johan anymore, and it's either teleport or magic missiles seem to be kind of the more of the prominent choices left over.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun to actually see the build unfold because there's a lot of good options. I mean, obviously, Astral Presence did receive a pretty sizable nerf in this patch, so it's going to become very uncommon. Power Hungry, excuse me, is quite good as well. But Force Armor just gives a lot of sustain. It could be that teleport style play.
Roach, unfortunately, not able to get that stun on top of Arthalon. Now, by himself in mid lane. That is some gusto right there.
Ducks can die. Yes, that is a nice pickup there. The rotation, they were very patient, waiting. And Ducks Can Fly really not being all that, adamant about checking his flanks, realizing that somebody might be missing. Just, they were there for a long time waiting for that opportunity.
And they absolutely were. So not perhaps not the best of the map awareness or the communication right there. Maybe he just didn't think it was going to be him. iDream is laning as Zeratul at this point. He does have that regen master as well, so that will reward him a little bit at least for sticking around for those regen globes. We do got those flanks now, looking for the mid. Pale Guy High is trying to take on Arth. That's actually not a bad matchup. Rhaegar versus Li Ming. Rhaegar with those new Pharaoh Lunge.
Rhaegar doesn't have a bad matchup, dude. Yeah. Rhaegar is such a good hero.
Yeah, well, you say that, but when he gets 4-man destroyed...
Yeah, that's a bad matchup.
iDream just shows up and immediately turns back to top.
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, the team shot calling in general right now is lacking when it comes to rotations happening. When enemy heroes go missing on the minimap, the team needs to be like, hey, playbacks, just fall back. Because twice now we've seen these big rotations between mid and bottom by Cloud9, and that's something that they're very well known for.
All right, the second of the magic missiles come out for Li Ming, so that's Charged Blast. Anything you hit with missiles, you can then auto-attack for a little bit of a bonus. One of the only mages that kind of has, at least some kind of viable synergy with auto-attacks. And Vorpal Blade on our Zeratul. Goodbye, Pale Guy High.
Ooh. Good night. Once again, he just respawned and immediately died. Rather unfortunate for the Ray God, not living too long today. Frostbolt builds have really picked up in prominence. Sometimes we see Witchers reach at level 1. Oftentimes we don't, because Jaina doesn't necessarily need to always poke safely from afar. She can initiate, a little bit more aggressively than you'd expect. And having Frost Shards is still plenty valuable without Winter's Reach.
Dunk Train really just showed me there. He jumped on top of Ducks Can Fly, who then unleashed a torrent of Banelings, and he just punched his way back to full health through them. So in terms of lane defense, it's not going to be the best, leaving Dunk Train down here. As you can see, a tower is now going to go down. But in terms of a one-on-one, he's not going to go down anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a very, powerful hero. In these situations, obviously he's getting pushed out in a 3v1, but he's still holding the lane well enough before the rotation does end up coming down. King Caffeine really not going to be able to find anyone out of position. We do see they are now retreating back towards their watchtower, and the disengage is successful. Arthalon did have to go back to base, but level 7 is here, and he goes for Seeker. A full magic missile build so far.
Yep. And you're going to see level 16 magic missile. He's probably going to go glass cannon, if anything. Pale Guy High, unfortunately, is...
iDream!
Yep.
I don't think he wanted to go over the wall there. He's trying to get out of range of the keep. Takes the wall down last moment. He used that to warp back in there with the Vorpal Blade, but that almost cost him his life.
Arthalon sieging into this top lane. They don't actually have a full 5 down south. Marsh now going to be looking for him. Does he... What does actually Marsh go at level 4. He does have the Netherwind, so he should be able to catch Arthlon a pretty decent amount. And, well, that's some pretty big damage returned on top of Li Ming.
Yeah, but with Force Armor, this is actually a duel that Arthlon can very, very well take, especially with the nerf they put to Gravity Lapse. We see the Power Slide from King Caffeine in mid, not quite connecting on Pale Guy High, and that's actually going to leave Jaina very exposed in the back, and she goes down. K1 Pro, the first death on the side of Cloud9, a good pickup there on the side of Tai's team.
Now, iDream does find Ducks Can Fly, has Dunk Train there, but they decide not really to do anything about it. They got to deal with these siege minions into the bottom lane. With not having that gate, and if they all go to the next tribute, and the siege minion is still kind of going, the siege giant,
all right,
that could be a fort.
Could be. King Caffeine actually catching March there. Almost, the trade would have been in favor of March if Arthlon had stuck around, but King Caffeine there just at the last moment. And now even rotating down towards Roach, but Roach can be able to Dwarf Toss back to safety. This could, like you said, this could be a curse if Cloud9 can get here in time, but I don't think Arthlon will be willing to leave that top lane.
Yeah, they don't really look like they're putting a huge amount of emphasis on it. Arthlon sieging down is just getting more and more turrets and towers, and, well, if he actually cleans up this, that could be level 10,
yeah.
Which means Cloud9 could take this.
That tower gonna die to the magic missile, so level 10 around the corner for Cloud9, but they're being forced back. Duck Can Fly trying to channel this tribute. Yeah, but the Frostbolt from afar does end up getting the cancellation, but K1 Pro will pay with his life stepping forward like that. So a great pickup here by Tai's team.
Now you can see the power of the Pierce there as well. We do see a lot of Pierce on this map. King Caffeine, well, Arthlon's going to be there. I'm not entirely too sure that's the peel he needs, but
wow.
The Banelings don't connect. And level 10 is here, but it's a little bit too late for Cloud9 in order to take a fight.
Yeah, Dunk Train got very low there as well. So yeah, like you said, level 10 is here. Disintegrate, Mosh Pit, VP, probably going to be a Ring of Frost, and they do go for 7-sided over the Divine Palm.
So they're going to look to try to catch. All right. I'll have to see if that works. I mean, we have a Void Prison. We have the Mosh Pit. There should be really easy situations for Dunk Train to kind of position that for full maximum damage.
It's true. Well, the boss is being started here by Tai's team. And I would go as far to say that this is a very risky play, but it could certainly pay off. Cloud9, they don't realize they're going for the Bruiser Camp. They're probably expecting that TIST is also going for a Bruiser Camp. Zeratul actually just skirting by, not scouting it out. Very unfortunate.
They can't go for Bruisers. They already got it.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Good call.
So they probably are expecting a boss at this point. But, I mean, a boss for a curse? All right. They got those siege minions pushing mid. All they have to do is defend against this boss and even take a fight. Should be easy peasy.
Ivy Slime way overextended. The Water Ellie is out, and the 7-sided strike picks up the kill. Golem now will be focused down very quickly by Cloud9, and this should be a pretty big curse for them.
So the curse will, at least mid, it's going to be drawing out 2 people. It's not going to be the fort, but the bigger problem is, again, that, you know, with this siege golem down, there's not really too much else for TIST to do here. I mean, they are cursed. They are going to be able to hold lanes, but they're not going to be able to push out, and that is a very powerful tool that they've basically now wasted and not gotten anything for it.
All right, well, we'll see exactly how much the curse can do. Level 10 talents on the other side. Pyroblast was picked up once again, but this time without gathering power. So we'll see what kind of effectiveness that has. Very strong against Li Ming, but again, Jaina will have that ice block in just a short while as level 13 is around the corner.
So Zeratul, Li Ming, Karazim can actually avoid it, I believe, with the 7-sided. So and ETC, who you're probably never going to throw it on anyways. But there are still some pretty good targets. Not gathering power, but that's okay. You don't actually need it to make it work. But as I said, so the curse is done. They did get some towers. They got 1 fort, but the bigger issue is, again, there's no golem now available here to TIST.
And that's you know, their golem effectively did so little, didn't even get the wall. It just got a single tower. So that really does hurt them quite a bit. We do see Icy Veins, so they're not even worried about that Pyroblast. That is confidence.
Or they didn't notice it yet.
I'm
they
sure
probably
they noticed it.
Yeah. It is glass cannon for Li Ming, so it is. I have to assume at this point 16 is going to be the magic missile for the for the 5 missiles. So
Mirror Ball is so strong.
Yeah, if you hit with all 6 or all 5 missiles, basically you are hitting with 6 missiles.
Yep.
That's where that's coming down. And with
Seeker
glass cannon, it's 15% more on top of it.
Probably Tal Rasha's elements at level 20, even though it did receive a sizable nerf in this last patch down to 10%, so 20% ability power. Still a lot more power for that magic missile as it comes out time after time.
The IST is not 13, so you can see them gathering here for the defense. They're very likely to be taking some Pretty severe damage, not only with the poke from Arthlon, but as the entire team is here. They still don't have Dragon, or Dux. Dux is up top. He's looking for that 13 before he comes home, but that's just going to put us into a weaker defense position.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a mistake. He's hearthing so late that this keep is going to be sieged up, by the golem by the time he even arrives. So damage is imminent, but can they safely burn it down? Probably not. We actually see Cloud9 opting to immediately retreat as 13 is there and Zagara has showed up.
All right, so what we got at 13s all looks pretty standard. That's going to be the chain bombs, the shield build, and cleanse for our Rhaegar. And as everything is going to be splitting back, I mean, we have a little bit of time before the 16 mark comes in. So Thai Ice Tea, if they do want to try to look for a fight, they're not that far behind in terms of power.
That's true. They really aren't. I mean, just down 2 levels, which isn't optimal, but it's really just, a level and a half, not even. Pale Guy High will get away with grabbing this camp and hops into his wolf form and runs
Good
away.
Timing. Yep. We got a lot of creep, actually, in this top area.
Yeah, sizable enough, that's for sure. And Caffeine actually just kind of lightly poking on in, just kind of dueling with Roach, but taking a lot of damage, so he's on the backup. And it looks like we have a bit of a split situation. Jaina is not here. K1 Pro is putting that emphasis on the tribute in bottom. And Cloud9 needs to be careful. Dream just walking right past Roach while stealth.
They're looking for the catch. Tyc wants to get a catch because there's no Jaina.
Oh no, they throw out the Void Prison. They could get a huge capitalization on this if Jaina was here, but she's not, so they're just stalling out to grab the tribute. Cloud9 picks it up. Now they're going to look to defend here. We are going to see the flank from K1 Pro. Oh no, not quite. He's actually just playing very safe and going around the back.
So it was a good stall here from Cloud9. They knew that they were in a 5v4 situation, but they only used 1 heroic out of it, and it's Void Prison. So they still have everything else ready to go. If we get a good mosh, it still could actually go really south here for TIST.
Okay, well, Frostbolt going out. The Banelings are in, and it's just light poke from both teams trying to get in, but the Wolf not connecting. Grab Labs also completely whiffs due to a beautiful cleanse there from Dunk Train. Also use 7-sided strike just for the safety precaution, and we're really just in a nice little tango. Pyroblast going onto K1 Pro, and that will be a successful kill. The 7-sided strike not going to be available, but the Blake is going to get in there, and the big damage from Leeming in the back onto Roach, but not quite enough for a kill.
And there's the level 16 mark, which is going to have to be the retreat here. That is, again, those 5 missiles coming in. So Arthalon is at full power for the next 4 levels until he gets that last little bit of burst. Dunk Train is opting to take Circle of Life, and so they're not really too worried about a lot of CCs. He's not going to be taking the removal there at 16, but so far, I mean, these fights have not exactly been close. Dunk Train, I don't really think needs to worry about CCs at this point.
No, I mean, when he's already gone with Cleanse, and if you pass up Echo of Heaven, you kind of have to go for Circle of Life and Karazim. But we were talking about Li Ming at this point. When she goes for Mirror Ball at level 16, especially with a magic missile build like this, she is going to be an absolute nightmare for the enemy team. So we're going to have to watch for those big missiles crashing down. The boss being attempted. It could be a throw pick. King Caffeine ready to jump on that point at a moment's notice. Dunk Train is waiting. 7-side strike doing so much damage to Roach. And the Blizzard crashing down will just barely not get the kill. The boss is available, but K1 Pro stepping on in. Dunk Train gets on the point just in time, and Thrall will end up falling. The Mosh Pit stalling out the Wolf. Rhaegar will end up dying here, and that is going to be a full team wipe, 5-0 for Cloud9.
It's kind of rather interesting that Cloud9 can still do these kind of big plays, even though they threw down the Void Prison, which negated the entire Disintegrate, which negated the entire wave of missiles, and they still come out of that one. Their zoning control at that choke point was absolutely on point. The mod not getting the value out of it. Thrall was already tanking out that boss, so he wasn't even an option or even a threat whatsoever. And Rhaegar still has Ancestral.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy, dude. What a convincing game by Cloud9. 14 minutes in. This should be a victory with that boss on the core. GG. Cloud9 will advance to round 3 of the 6th qualifier of Enter the Storm North America number 2.
They didn't even use the Maw back at that fight. I think it was the Void Prison into the Mosh. I guess she just never really had a chance to do it. But the level 16 advantage is absolutely real. If you see Cloud9 coming for you at a boss and they have a talent tier advantage, you might just want to get out. You might want to just cut your losses. The boss will still push in, but at least you might be able to mount a defense. 0 deaths on everyone except Jaina. K1 Pro,
step it up.
Only 3 deaths on the team.
3 deaths?
Yep.
Feeder.
Glad you said it, not me.
Shame. Well played here by Cloud9. I mean, You know, I really wasn't expecting the magic missile build. I'll be completely honest. I've seen a lot of
What would you have seen? The orb?
well, we see a little bit of hybrid style. Sometimes we see, you know, Seeker. It used to be SF Johan with Seeker. And then, you know, Mirror Ball was pretty common, but sometimes you do see Diamond Skin picked up just because of the amount of sustain you get. So we see full teleport style where you go in for the health, the 25% health return when you get a kill, and just you know, diamond skin, domination. You just really go ham with the teleports and the blink damage at level 7, but not at all. Just full missile build, and I mean, he topped the charts.
Absolutely did. Top siege, top hero, top experience as well. Remember, there was quite a bit of split pushing and sieging earlier on. I don't think we ever got a tribute for Thai Ice T despite that.
They had one total.
Oh, right. No, they did. Yeah, because they won, and that's when they killed Jaina for the first kill.
Yeah, that's the one where Jaina died, and I believe we had Arthlon staying in the top lane during that time because he was just pushing down the towers. So yeah, I mean, well played there by Thai Ice T, but Cloud9 proven that they're still beastly at this game. They'll be advancing, and let me take a look at the bracket, see if we have.
I was going to say, do we know who they move on to? Not yet, it seems. King of Blades Alpha is taking on Team Nom right now. Team Blaze from their bye has taken out HAB. Not entirely too sure who they are off the top of my head. HAB is
sometimes
and Bothered.
That's beautiful. That is phenomenal.
So Blaze is already into the round of 3, into the semifinals. Panda Global is taking on THC Black, which is Team Higher Consciousness. They're actually live, but it links to your stream, so I don't know what their results are right now. But whoever wins that takes on Blaze. Whoever wins that goes to finals.
So basically, what we have coming up next is a best of 1 between either King of Blades Alpha and Team Nom and Cloud9. So those two teams duking it out right now. We do see Blaze, like you said, has advanced. I think that might have just gone through. And THC Black versus Panda Global will be facing it off in the other semifinal best of 1.
You think it was a forfeit? No, they actually have a draft and everything.
Yeah. I mean, that just means it was a quick game just like ours. I mean, with like probably a 12, 15-minute game around that range. Not that uncommon. I'm sure King of Blades Alpha and Team Nom, when it's a best of 1, it's pretty predictable as to when a game will end. So the game should be over within the next 5 to 10 minutes, assuming that the game didn't start a little bit late. And
it was on Tomb of the Spider Queen, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That game, Tomb can go really long sometimes. Oh, Team Nom just advanced. Wow, this is actually perfect timing. So Team Nom has just advanced over King of Blades Alpha. That's impressive. I gotta say, I gotta give to Nom.
You'd expect it from a team that qualifies from regionals, though, wouldn't
They
you?
both did. Both teams are regionals. So,
but Team Nom is the one that I hear in the news more often than.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But King of Blades Alpha, my eyes are on them. They're really an up and coming team. They're improving rather rapidly. You compare their skill level now compared to a couple months ago, and it's exponentially higher. So, props to Team Nom advancing. That'll be our next match, guys. Cloud9 versus Team Nom. Stay tuned as we get that all set up for you. We'll be back in just a few. And remember, Magni Meridian giveaway. Follow the channel for it.